Welcome to the Langara News. I'm Tuvi Mrakwell.
And I'm Senna Law, and here's what's making news today on December 1st, 2021. The weather will not drown out the voices of the West Sowetan community as they gather to show support for their people in Vancouver.
Coffee addicts beware. Starting in 2022, the City of Vancouver will be banning all single-use plastic cups and straws. But how will bubble tea and coffee shops cope?
Recent floods have left many animals in need of new homes. Find out how you can adopt one of these furry friends from Vancouver's Cat Cafe.
People gathered in downtown Vancouver today to show their support for the Wet'suwet'en community that continues to be raided by the RCMP. Clarissa Corniowan reports.
2 people were arrested today after protesters briefly shut down a bank and disrupted traffic along West Georgia Street in Vancouver. Nearly 100 people gathered on Burrard Street just after noon. Traffic was stopped as a group made their way onto West Georgia.
What's going on over in Wet'suwet'en right now is they're trying to build the CGL pipeline, Coastal Gas Link, and they are currently illegally trying to move their project underneath and drill underneath our sacred headwaters, the Wet'suwet'en River.
Chaos erupted briefly as a group swarmed inside of an RBC bank branch before Vancouver police were able to get inside and lock the doors. Protests began in early 2020 after the BC Supreme Court granted an injunction allowing construction of the Coastal GasLink pipeline through Wet'suwet'en territory. Those protests continue across the nation following the arrests of supporters and journalists at the blockades.
I'd like to see the charges, the latest charges against the people who were arrested up there, that those charges should be dropped.
The crowd left the bank peacefully, but continued their protest in front of the bank, keeping West Georgia blocked.
Individuals who come from very different places, but share a belief that what's happening on the Yinta is beyond wrong, that it's gross and violent, and we can't stand for it anymore and sleep at night.
Just before 3 p.m., Vancouver police moved in to clear the roadway, arresting 2 people for mischief. The group dispersed, with some moving on to the Vancouver Police Department to support those arrested. Jen Bevilacqua reporting for Langara News.
The City of Vancouver is cracking down to reduce single-use cups. Starting January 1st, 2022, customers will be charged for disposable cups. Nicolette Colosimo reports.
As of January 1st, every coffee sold in a paper cup in Vancouver will cost you an extra 25 cents.
Being environmentally sustainable is a priority for us. I feel like it's not something that many coffee shops take into consideration very heavily, because I mean, it's just a coffee shop, you know. But that's something that we value very, very, very much. Not a lot of consumers actually take that into account, like how much waste that is, because like our garbages at the end of the day are packed.
The city is bringing in the 25-cent fee for paper cups as a way to reduce the number of disposable cups that end up in the landfill.
And it's super avoidable. So if you just bring a cup in yourself, you can save yourself 25 cents.
I think it's a rip-off. It's too much. 25 cents per paper cup.
Originally, Matchstick charged for paper cups until the pandemic hit.
At first it was definitely a bit of a burden, but then we got tons more customers bringing in their own mugs after that.
Bringing a own cup is not that hard. Everybody should sacrifice something.
On the first phase of regulations, bubble tea shops were given 1-year exemption for plastic straws. However, all bubble tea shops will be required to find an alternative for plastic straws next year.
We're trying to be as economical as possible, so we actually use paper straws, and we're looking for supplier for the cups. Like, it's kind of harder to find a cup that will stay solid for the long time that we want them to be for our drinks. So we're just trying to figure out more innovative ways to just be more green. Like, because I know even with the paper straws itself, there's also recycled materials that you can find that is probably more cost efficient. We want to offer people to bring in their own cups that we could just fill as well. So if we have like glass cups or something, we could just fill it up for them too when they come to the store.
I do it because it's easy, and I don't have to bring a reusable cup because I can just get a paper cup in a shop. We don't need to be using paper cups, even though I use them myself, but you know, we need to get away from all that stuff.
It is a widespread belief that saving the environment is of primal importance. So Vancouver residents should have their tumblers and metal straws ready for coffee shops in the new year.
If you're looking for ways to help out during the flooding, consider adopting a furry friend. Vancouver's Cat Cafe is full of cats from Princeton waiting to find a new home. Lauren Vanderdeen has more.
Heart and Soul Dog and Cat Rescue has moved 76 homeless cats and dogs from Manitoba to Abbotsford. But it was a difficult journey through storms, snow, and floods. After being stranded in Saskatchewan, the cats and dogs finally made it to Princeton, BC.
They had made it to Princeton on the Sunday afternoon when all of the mudslides started happening.
One of the rescue's co-founders reached out to Princeton residents.
Basically called everyone he knew. It's like, we have 76 animals in our driveway and they need homes for the night.
Despite the severe flooding in Princeton, residents lined up to foster the animals.
And he said that there was people lining up down his street waiting to come and pick them up and take them home.
The rescue then chartered a plane to take the animals from Princeton to Abbotsford. Some of the cats from Heart and Soul go from a foster home to Cafe, a cat cafe in downtown Vancouver. Doug Ferguson, a cat whisperer at the cafe, said he knows the flooding has made cat adoptions and fostering more difficult.
I just know that that things have been a lot more difficult as a result of the flooding.
Eric Lamb was at the cat cafe.
I thought about getting a cat, so I haven't been around cats a lot. So I just wanted to see if they like me.
This whole experience has really restored my faith in humanity, to be honest.
For Langara News, I'm Lauren Vanderdeen.
Coming up after the break, find out how fast fashion is slowing down in Vancouver.
And let's check in on the Christmas market that's returning after a one-year hiatus.
Are you tired of the dozens of cleaning products cluttering your house? Ever wanted a product that could do it all? Well, fret no more. Dr. Phil's 8-in-1 soap is here. It can be used as hand soap, laundry detergent, dish soap, toothpaste, pesticide, shampoo, dog shampoo, and toilet bowl cleaner. Side effects may include nausea, fever, headache, heartburn, hair loss, tooth loss, nail loss, diarrhea, and death.
Fast fashion has had its moment on the runway, but climate change concerns are inspiring consumers to find more sustainable ways to express their style. Ashley Burgoyne reports.
At a time when the pressure on the planet feels more obvious than ever, people are looking for a way off the fast fashion cycle.
It's been really cool, honestly, to see the growth of slow fashion.
Sabrina Kao, an employee at a Vancouver thrift store, F as in Frank, on Main Street and East Broadway, has noticed an increase in the popularity of thrifting as well.
I guess especially when we're living in Vancouver, you see a lot more of the effects of climate change. Like, we're seeing like a lot of the floods, and we saw like that huge fires over the summer.
I think that there's so many pieces of clothing out there that still have a lot more life left in them, and just because one person's done with it doesn't mean it's done completely.
Since the pandemic, Vancouver-based fabric store Dresso on West Hastings and Homer Street has seen an uptick in customers looking to not only sew their own masks, but make clothes for their children or modify their own.
I think it's an interesting way to exercise control over the world in which we live. I mean, everything is kind of on fire right now. So if you're able to at least exercise a little bit of control about what type of impact you personally have on the planet by moving into a more sustainable fashion.
She said some customers have a hard time finding options, so they come to the fabric store to try their hand at making their own things. Normally, people start small and progress into making more elaborate pieces.
Common one is, I don't want to go shopping at Victoria's Secret or La Senza anymore, so I'm going to start making my own underwear.
Some people choose to create rather than buy their clothes because of a lack of size inclusivity in the fashion world.
Vintage shopping isn't necessarily the easiest way either, because you have lots of individuals who are, well, my body type, buying things and flipping things that are larger, because I guess larger, baggier clothes might be the en vogue thing at the moment, and then that ends up shortchanging anybody who actively needs those types of things.
Vancouver are used to dark and gloomy weather, but the 2021 forecast has not failed to surprise us. We go to Emily Lith with the weather.
Thanks, Senna and Tuvi. This month has been crazy when it comes to the weather. Warnings for heavy rainfall and flooding are a weekly occurrence, and as we're moving into December, it doesn't look like things are getting any better. Today's weather brings a high of 12 degrees with a low of 4 as a cold front moves across the province, bringing light rain over the south coast this evening. Some onshore flow is expected as the low pressure system moves eastward, so expect some windy conditions during your commute in Metro Vancouver. The temperature is meant to dip by tomorrow to a high of 7 as a weak ridge of high pressure clears the skies with some clouds remaining. Friday is where the weather transitions back to clouds with rain, which can be expected to last into the following week. Since the college remained open during much of this gloomy weather, we wondered, how are people coping with the rain? Lesia Pogarello spoke with some students around campus today. Let's see what they have to say.
The end of the semester is usually a stressful time for students who are studying for exams. But with all the rain we have been having lately, some people are finding it hard to get through the day.
I don't like rain, so it's rainy every day. So if it's raining like once in a week, that's fine. But when I wake up, it's a rain. When I sleep, it's a rain.
The bad weather is affecting people's productivity as well.
I don't like to stay at home, but because of rain I have to, and it makes me sleep every day, and I sleep a lot because of rain because I can't go outside, so that makes me lazy.
Environment Canada issued another rainfall warning today for most of Metro Vancouver, but while some people choose to stay inside, others say they actually enjoy the rain.
It's good for me. I'm from a tropical country where it used to rain a lot, so I love that environment, so I feel like home. For me, I like rain, I love rain, so in this type of romantic and a good weather, for me studying is a little bit difficult because I want to focus on moving around, enjoying the weather, but I have to study.
Tomorrow shows sunny skies in the forecast, but don't put your umbrellas away. There is only a 2-day break for dry weather, and then we are going to have rainfall again. For Langara News, I'm Lesia Pogarello.
And stay tuned for the grand reopening of the Shipyard skating rink in North Vancouver.
One of our reporters will take you on a skate around the rink.
The Vancouver Christmas Market is finally back this year, and vendors are more than happy to spread their holiday cheer with their homemade products. Holly McGowan and Claire A. Wilson have more.
Merry Christmas! Christmas market is my heritage. I like the mulled wine.
It's not only customers that are happy to be back and filled with holiday spirit.
The Vancouver Christmas Market and running the Mulling Spice House here is very much the centerpiece of what we do every year, and not having it happening at all last year was quite impactful.
It was closed for more than a year, but shoppers and local vendors are back this holiday season. Ornaments for the tree, fine foods, there's something for everyone. Jeremy Budd has been a part of the Christmas market for the past 10 years.
What we found is that this year there's a lot of pent-up demand. So the early market has been busier than we expected, which is fantastic, and a lot of good, happy people that are, really excited to be out again, able to do this.
One of the main attractions of the market is buying local products.
I think it's very important to shop locally so that people can support the local stores and be able to get the foods that they always want.
Fred and Andrea come to the Christmas market every year, keeping their shopping dollars in the local economy.
The quality of products that I find that when you buy locally are way superior. It keeps our economy growing. You look at climate change, it has a huge dramatic effect on worldwide. So let's keep it local, let's support our farmers, let's support all of us by shopping locally.
We love being here, and we encourage everybody in Vancouver, in BC, in Canada, or visiting from somewhere else to come and pay a visit. It's a beautiful market.
For the Langara Voice, this has been Holly McGowan.
Speaking of holiday cheer, the Shipyard skating rink in North Vancouver is opening again just in time for the winter season. Graham Abraham and Christopher McMillan take us on a trip around the rink.
The Shipyard's Common Skate Plaza has returned to the Lonsdale Quay after a break last year due to the pandemic. Organizers are excited to be back, while business owners near the ice rink expect an uptick in customers through the holiday seasons. Michaela de Ciantis Wong can't wait to see skaters enjoying the ice after such a long break.
Well, unfortunately last year we weren't able to open the rink because of the big surge of COVID with the Halloween stuff that went on. However, with this year we're just taking COVID protocols and precautions, so half capacity, masks for all the staff, we have plexiglass and sanitized stations set up around.
Businesses near the rink, like Cafe Artigiano and Welcome Parlor Ice Cream, expect the opening of the rink to bring more customers.
It does get busier when there is the rink going on, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the shipyards, it's water park in the summer, skating rink in the winter. It's kind of the hub of North Vancouver for families to come down. So yeah, absolutely.
While Lonsdale Quay still attracts regular visitors all year, stores welcome the influx of skaters that was missing last year.
I think it was probably a little bit slower, just because there wasn't an increase in traffic because of the snow rink. But I will say even on nice days, no matter what time of year, there's already a lot of people here, especially Christmas shopping at Nooks and stuff. So I think it's probably slower, but not too bad. I think it's going to be great for the cafe, and it's going to be awesome and cheery and nice to have people skating and stuff, but I think it's going to be a little overwhelming because everyone's going to want hot chocolate. Well, we love that. We love that. We'll see.
Well, it looks like our reporters had fun out there.
Oh yeah, and no one cried today.
And that's a big win for us.
Thanks so much for joining us, and don't forget to wash your hands, eat your veggies, and wear your seatbelt.
For the Langara Voice, this is Senna Law.
And I'm Tuvi Markwell.